Assalamu alaikum. Brother and sister, before I start, please do your best to support Brother Abu Shahada. Brother Abu Shahada from the First Nation people, and he's a Muslim convert. He's dedicated his life to help, the kids not to fall into the life of drugs, and as he's shown you. And he gives the khutbah, yes. Sorry, okay. Jazakallah khair. Please do your best to support. You don't know what is the thing that will take you to the Jannah. It's just like golden opportunities. Allah is opening in your face. So keep pick and choose, like وَلِلَّهِ الْمَثَلَ الْأَعْلَى. When you go to a garden full of roses, you will not just feel enough just to have one type of rose. You will keep, choosing. It will be much more beautiful than just going with one type. So keep doing whatever. Please don't leave this place without supporting him, at least with the minimum you have in your pocket. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, inshallah, will give you 10 times of that. Jazakumullah. He's doing fard kifaya, really. When he said it, he means it. Because just show me, I myself, who's from us is able to dedicate himself to help youth in the problem of the drugs? Please raise up your hand. Who is now dedicated to do this? I know, no one, including myself. No one. So this is fard kifaya, really. So at least to reduce the amount of being blamed when you stand before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Wallah, I feel very happy when I see someone dedicated for something must be done by the ummah, and most of the ummah are either not able or cannot or whatever. We feel happy. Just go and support, because this is ni'mah. So please don't leave without supporting him. Jazakumullah khairan. This is not part of my time, by the way. Okay? I have not started yet. Yes. Wallahi. Yes. You have to be fair. لا مش هاخد راحتي. اسمع، المدرسين والمحاضرين زي النسوان، إذا أخذوا راحتهم بسكتوش. طبعا مش على الهواء هذا. مش بقول لك لا تعطي شيخ مايكروفون ولا تعطي مرة تليفون. يبقى جايب حالي يا كمان. اوكي طيب. اوت اوف ريكورد. طيب. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه ومن والاه. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept your deeds. And Ramadan Mubarak for you. And Eid Mubarak, inshallah, in advance. In less than 24 hours, inshallah, if we stayed alive, okay, we will be praying the Eid here, inshallah. Now, I will, inshallah, our khitmah from my side will be with 2 quick stories with 1 lesson. One of the stories happened with me 31 years ago in Manhattan, next to the Twin Towers. And the other story happened with an Arab businessman in Germany about 30 years ago. So I will combine the 2 stories together because they have one similar thing together. My story, in 1991, I was traveling in a tour. Right? Brothers in the back, please, can you please reduce the sound, because many brothers, they are not able to hear. Please, anyone who's talking in the back, please try to stop or to find another place, please. So the first story happened with me in 1991 in New York City, in Manhattan. I was in a tour in the United States. I was doing my master's degree in Jordan University at that time. So I was just new with my humble, simple English at that time, 31 years ago, you can imagine, with very, very low experience. But I was in a tour, a da'wah tour. So in Manhattan, I was traveling alone, coming from one of the states. I wanted to take a bus from the bus station going to New Jersey. So at that time, I have some kind of time. So I need to wait for 2-3 hours till the time of the bus comes from New York to New Jersey. So I was traveling in the bus station. So just, about maybe 10-20 meters, I noticed someone. I assumed 99% he was a Muslim. His appearance was with a Sudanese clothes, dash, white one, with a hat. His appearance is an Afro-American, and from my humble experience, he was from Sudan. And he has like a small booth, putting something about 20 meters. I assumed it was like siwak and sibha and something like that. So I did not focus because sometimes when you see generally, you don't keep looking in particular. So I said, I was very happy because I saw a Muslim. I myself a stranger. It's my first time traveling there, waiting for the bus for 2 hours. Alhamdulillah, mashallah, brother from Sudan. He's this kind of Islamic stuffs, maybe compass and something, maybe. So I went just without thinking, without even focusing into the booth exactly what he was doing. Just khalas, was immediately I went to him and I said, Assalamu alaikum. I raised up my hand like this, and he stayed like this. He did not shake hands with me. Can you imagine? I did it like this, wallahi, then I freezed. Said, oh, there is something wrong. Well, I did it like this, he refused. So I wanted to respect myself. I just put it, okay. So I was shocked. So I felt that I was entrapped in something. I didn't know who is he, but his appearance is completely Muslim. So, but okay, I exposed my identity. Khalas. It's well known that I'm an Arab and Muslim because I said Assalamu alaikum, and already I wanted to shake hands. So I can't just withdraw and say bye bye. No. This kind of ego, pride, I can't. I have to continue. So I started talking. I asked him, you're not a Muslim? He said, no. Are you a Jew? Jewish? He said, no. Okay, are you a Christian? No. Okay, may I ask what religion do you follow? He said, I'm following the Abrahamic religion. I said, okay. I'm a Sharia student. It was my second degree in my master's at that time. So, alhamdulillah, at least 6 years studying the Sharia at that time. So I said, excuse me, there's nothing such as Abrahamic religion. We have Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. There's no religion as such Abrahamic religion. So I argued with him. He just picked a book and put it in my face. It contained the Star of David. But okay. Anyway, we had a very tough discussion. You, me, him, something. No. I was, alhamdulillah, I consider myself, I have a good knowledge. But my language was so weak at that time. The Jordanian Arabic language? Can you imagine? By the way, he was a Native American. A native Afro-American, native. Not from Sudan or any Africa, no, Native American. So his English compared with my English, like someone who's holding a stone in front of someone who's holding automatic machine gun. My English, it was like I mean, there is, I need to like this. So it was, anyway, but I did my best. But, it was very difficult for him. He was not able to answer my questions. Then, when I provoked him, I put him in the corner, he immediately said the following, and here comes the big surprise. He said, look, in your book, you have in your Quran, and he said in Arabic now, he said, ذَلِكَ الْكِتَابُ لَا رَيْبَ فِيهِ. He quoted the second ayah from Surah Al-Baqarah, ذَلِكَ الْكِتَابُ لَا رَيْبَ فِيهِ. You know it. He said it in Arabic, pure Arabic. He said, in your book, you have ذَلِكَ الْكِتَابُ لَا رَيْبَ فِيهِ. He continued in Arabic. He said, ذَلِكَ اسم إشارة للبعيد in Arabic. Ism إشارة means, ذَلِكَ means that. هذا means this. This is called a demonstrative, noun. Which this and that. This boy, that boy. قريب, بعيد. Close, far. Okay? So he said in Arabic to me, he said, ذَلِكَ الْكِتَابُ لَا رَيْبَ فِيهِ. ذَلِكَ اسم إشارة للبعيد. He said, look, your book say, that book, there is no doubt in it. And ذَلِكَ is a demonstrative noun for the far thing. He continued, he said, the far book from you Muslims, is the Torah. So if you want to be a good Muslim, you must follow the Torah. Can you imagine? And by the way, I am the one who approached him. He did not come to me. No one can say that there's someone who's trying to play a game or dirty game. No, I went to him. He did not come to me. He was in his place. So there is no place to think that he was planning something or plan. No, I approached him. So he was so ready. He spoke in Arabic. He was a Native American. He quoted the Quran in Arabic and he argued with me with something really, unless I am a student of Sharia, because no, it's simple answer for me. ذَلِكَ, from rhetorical point of view, this is called a metaphorical usage for the language. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is talking about the Quran. Okay? Now literally, the Quran should say, هَذَا الْكِتَابُ لَا رَيْبَ فِيهِ. This book, there is no doubt in it. But Allah said, ذَلِكَ الْكِتَابُ. ذَلِكَ, in Arabic you say, استخدام اسم الإشارة للبعيد للرفعة والمكانة. In Arabic language, rhetorical Arabic, when you want to praise something as a very high respected thing, you use the demonstrative pronoun of the close, okay? Instead you use the far, which say, that person, even though he might be next to me, sitting next to me, I say, you know, that big person, even though he's next to me. This is a rhetorical language, okay? But someone does not know the knowledge of this. I mean, he was ready. This is the first story. Forget the lesson now. Just freeze it in your mind. Let's go to the second story. Then I will combine the two stories to have one lesson. Second story, I read it, I think about maybe 20 years, more or less. It happened many years before that. An Arab business person, he went for medical things, you know, medical operation, into Germany. He was in the apartment. Someone knocked the door. So I think he looked to the what we call the magic eye. So he realized that she was a German lady, white, blonde, blue hair, blue eyes, you know. So he was a practicing Muslim. So he was alone, and you know what we call ahkam al-khalwa. He can't open the door for a stranger, a woman, so that because she might say okay, or whatever reason, he was not able to open. So he decided not to open because he was afraid. He does not know who is she. He was afraid that if she came to the house, practically, this is haram in Islam. By the way, not having a bad intention, just the reality of having a stranger, female, in a place of your house alone, it's called khalwa, which is haram. Haram even without a bad intention. The action itself is haram. So he is aware of that. Regardless of who is she, he said, yes, excuse me, what do you want? She said, I want to speak with you. He said, I'm sorry, I can't open the door. Just, okay, say, what do you want from me? Who are you? She said, no, I want to get into to speak with you. He said, no, I'm not allowing you to get. When she insisted, she said, look, I'm a Muslim. And in my religion, I'm not allowed to welcome you because my wife is not with me. I don't have anyone else. In my religion, you are not allowed to come with me because I'm alone. Okay? So I'm sorry. I can't. She insisted. She said, I'm sorry. So he ignored her. He said, then she came close to the certain place of the door and she kept 15 minutes calling him for her religion. What was her religion? She's from Jehovah's Witnesses. Shuhud Yahweh. Now, Jehovah's Witnesses, they claim there are Christians. The majority, Jehovah's Witnesses, Shuhud Yahweh. Jehovah's Witnesses, basically, they claim that they are Christians. Okay? They claim. The majority of Christians, they look at them as kuffar in Christianity. They don't accept them as Christians. The main reason is why? Because they do not accept the divinity of Jesus Christ. They think that Jesus Christ is a human being. Okay? Now my point is not how Christians look at them, but just to know who are Jehovah's Witnesses. They are dedicated to their way of thinking amazingly. If someone is stuck to you, may God be with you. They will not leave you easily. Anyway, she came for about 15 minutes, blah, 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 speaking. He ignored her. He went to the kitchen and doing, but she kept speaking, you know, calling him to her religion. He said, now I'm quoting him, he said, she did not leave the door till she was satisfied that she has done her mission. Then she left. Look now to the point. Now she's a woman and he's a man. You know, from natural point of view, when a man is approaching a woman, even if she refused him, it does not affect him because by nature, a man is created in a way that to chase women. You go, you pay the mahar, you do your best, you fight to have a woman. But it's the opposite is very strange. She's a European, white Christian, and he's an Arab Muslim. The idea of looking at herself, the ego, the normal ego, compared between Europeans and Arabs, Muslims and non-Muslims, did not stop her by any way not to continue. She did not feel offended, or her ego or her place or her prestige was broken at all. She did not say, how come I'm as a woman speaking with a man and Arab and Muslim, he's humiliating me, cursing me, and still I'm calling da'wah. Oh, no. She did not look to all of these considerations. Now the two stories finished. What is the lesson? And I finish. First story. I was asking myself, this person is calling for the batil, for the false. He was ready to argue with a stranger who was a specialist in Sharia. Hardly I was able to argue with him. He was ready to fight and to call, and what's sure he was targeting Muslims and against Islam, because his appearance is completely Muslim, but he was not a Muslim. Actually, he was against Islam and Muslims. But what power they have? What is the motivation? Regardless, he's based on batil. He's calling for a batil, yet he has a motivation. He's standing there for 10 hours, Manhattan, New York City, on daily basis, just to call for his batil. And the other one, she has 10 reasons to stop doing what she was doing. She's a woman and he's a man. She's a European, he's an Arab. She's a Christian, he's a Muslim. Many psychological reasons could kill her ego. Nothing bothered her, because her faith is much more valuable than all other considerations. But what is the lesson? Do we have such attitude to call for the haqq? Because sometimes one of the ways to push yourself to do the haqq, look to the people of the batil, what they do in supporting their batil. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم فيا فوز المستغفرين.